Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel and the August 2023 monthly wrap-up. August has been a blur for me. Seriously, looking back at my journal right now, I don't even remember what happened because it has been a whirlwind of a month. Let's go ahead and just get started. So first of all, you're gonna see a lot of this going on. This I found online, so I just printed it, I colored it, I placed it in here. This and a lot of the other art that you see in here is from this book right here, which is The Seasonal Soul. This has been really inspirational for me, just going through the months and going through some of the readings here, just something to really ponder and meditate on. I really do enjoy this book. I have enjoyed it as a somewhat of a guide through the seasons, and it's been really nice. I really like it. The Last Cuentista. This is a Newbery Award winner. This is a very interesting book. This is sci-fi based, but I wanted something with magical realism by a Latina or Latino author, and I found this book. I really enjoyed it. It took me a bit because of the intricacy involved within this book, but I have to say that's kind of like the overall theme, one of the overall themes for my month in general. So it it's kind of played into my month overall. So the Last Cuentista, this means storyteller. This book is based on a young girl by the name of Petra, who is 13 years old. She's living with her family here on the planet Earth, but Halley's Comet is going to come and just destroy the Earth. Her family is, they are scientists, they're botanists, and so her family was invited to help go to another planet and help continue life, human beings, on another planet. So she is on this ship that takes off to another planet, and the plan is that these people get on this ship, they are put in a capsule that helps them download information and keeps them young while they're in travel to this other planet, which is going to take hundreds of years. While they're on this ship, the ship is overcome by another race, and when she wakes up, for some reason, she is the only one that has not had her memory erased. I think it was, no, I know that it was something about when she went into her little cog to rest and to gain this information, that there was some kind of malfunction. And so when she wakes up, she remembers her name, she remembers everything about Earth, while everybody else, including her family, has no recollection of any of it. And then she can't find her family. And so she kind of understands pretty quickly what's going on and kind of plays the part and tries to escape. So that's where all of this comes out. But Petra, while she was on Earth, always wanted to follow in her grandmother's footsteps, and her grandmother was a storyteller. So she was passing down these ancient pre-Hispanic type stories about the feathered serpent, and she would drink cacao, and her father was very into the usage of herbs and also crystals and just getting what they needed. So in the back of this story, you have all of these mentions of these beautiful stories, plus using cacao and using obsidian and all these things within this sci-fi story, where she's also beginning to tell the story. So even though when they got on the ship, it was not her original idea within, not her idea, but the idea that this is what she was going to be used for in the future, she was able to maintain that and really gather from that and pass it on. So it is a very interesting story, very intricate within the details which drove me a little crazy sometimes. I was getting impatient at times, but now that the month is done, I kind of understand where it all comes in. So very good book, very, very good book. And I think I probably went into that a little bit more than I should have. All right, the journal. Here's my journal for the month. And of course, I am still using the agenda that is created by the creator who made the Tarot Yohali Iteka. You can find him on Etsy as Mi Corazon Mexica. And I've really been enjoying this book. I haven't seen where he's posted that he's going to go ahead and release next year's book, which is making me really sad because I'm really utilizing this and putting the images from the deck, from the book, into my journal and using that as a guide to really guide me along and take me a little bit further into these studies. And it's just been really, really good. So I'm hoping he's going to continue. I really do. At the beginning of the month, there was the day of the Mayahuel, which is the goddess of the tequila or mezcal, the maga plant. They also make pulque from this plant, but in order for this plant to be useful to humans, the plant must die. So to me, it kind of was similar to Palo Santo. When you use Palo Santo, it comes from a dead tree. So in order to be useful to you, the tree has to die. Very same thing here with the maga plant. And this goddess really helped walk me through the month. She's known as the heart of the maguey, and just a beautiful, beautiful, lovely energy from this particular goddess, a very mothering energy. And she is the goddess of fertility, and she had several roles. And it was a wonderful, wonderful guide for me this month because there was a lot of mothering involved this month. These are little printouts from the Patreon of the Forager's Daughter. I'm really enjoying having the membership into that Patreon. It's only $3 a month. She provides a lot of information for that $3. And so here I just kind of printed it in and stuck it into my journal and went with that. As you can see, there's a lot going on here this month in my journal. This is from the journal as Altar, and this is on Substack. I went ahead and did this workshop, and last month I did a workshop in regard to grief and trauma. This month I did the exercise in intricacy, which was interesting because, like I said, the book that I read was very intricate with its details, and this really brought to life just paying attention to all the details. And again, I just went through, I printed some stuff, a lot of writing. This time I didn't use any oracle or tarot within this particular workshop, but it was really, really great. I even went ahead and made my own little spread based on the workshop, and it was really a great workshop. Lionsgate Portal, found some information online, went ahead and created my own little vision board and just cut out things that I found, put that in there. I did celebrate a birthday, 57, I'm 57, guys. And it was a really, really nice birthday. Went ahead and just kept journaling. And as you can see, being a little bit more creative within my journal this month, which was really cool. Again, this was from the Forager's Daughter. And again, other items that I would cut and paste in here. And I really, really, look at this. Like, I just kept going. And I'm trying to put it more into my journal rather than online, so that, oops, I just dropped a deck. My goodness. Okay. So that way I have everything here. So it's been really cool. It's been really great. I really love this. And now also, This month, in August the 20th, was the actual Dia de los Muertos. Not the one that was integrated into All Saints Day, but when it was actually celebrated. So I didn't take everything out and do up the altar. Instead, I just figured that I would just kind of work with it here within my journal and really think about these things here within my journal and meditate on them here. So that is some of the things that I worked with there. I had some injuries, not me, myself, but there was some pretty important things going on here that I needed to send healing for. So I went ahead and included that here as well. So just everything that I was working with as far as plants and distance healings and all kinds of things. But this is the full moon in Pisces, which again, I took a lot of my little pictures here from the Forager's Daughter Patreon group and put it all in here along with some other little items that I found here and there. And again, this is the tarot reading for the month or for the full moon. And then here I have some reflection pages, which I'm not really going to get into with everybody, but let's go ahead and take a look at the decks that I use. So as you can see, my journal has come to life. Like if you had seen my journal a couple of months ago, you would say that's not even the same person doing this journal. And I agree with you. It doesn't look the same at all. I think the shift was journal as altar when I was working through that grief and trauma workshop. I think that really changed things for me. That really helped bring things alive. So for now, I'm keeping that Substack membership as well. So these two decks are the Yoga Tarot and also the Seeds of Shakti Oracle. These two decks go together like bread and butter. I mean, look at this. My goodness, guys. The colors, the overall topic of them, it's amazing. Amazing, amazing readings that came with these, all pretty much within the same type of feeling and emotion. And I really utilize these to really get in touch with more yogic philosophy, but you don't have to work with it in that respect. It is just a really great read using these two together. It does not have, you do not have to be a yoga practitioner. You do not have to understand yoga philosophy in order to work with either one of these decks. I really like it. It's extremely colorful. The art style is not really something that I would normally go for, but I really like these two together. So vibrant, so beautiful. I really liked it. I have been asked to do like a pairing and talk a little bit about the Yoga Tarot, and I will at some point. I'm not quite sure when, because I've got a lot of mommy duties coming up here, a lot of things going on. So I'm not quite sure at what point I'll get to it, but I will. But I am going to say right now that my favorite pairing was with the Seeds of Shakti Oracle. Those two, oh my goodness, really, really good together. Okay, the next deck that I worked with was the Vessel Oracle and the Crimson Asteria Tarot. I wanted a little bit of fire, a little bit of like passion, and also within that fire and passion, I wanted something that really got into like this idea of resilience. And these two spoke to me in that manner. I really like these two together. I know that the art styles are a little bit different. The tones are the same, but I love it from a resilience kind of standpoint, working with these two. Really, really good together. I really enjoyed these. It's a very balancing and supportive type of reading that I was receiving from these two. Forager's Daughter. Guys, this deck, why didn't you guys tell me it was good? I held off on buying this deck for quite a long time. I really do enjoy it. I love the beauty of the art. I love the softness within the deck, which is different than some of my other animal decks, which is fantastic. I used it a lot with the Mantra Oracle, and I really do love the overall softness and beauty within the reading. It just had a very healing, a very nurturing type of reading that went along with these two. And as you can see within the Mantra Oracle, there's a lot of people. And here we have, you know, all these animals and this animal energy. And I really loved the way that they complemented each other, not only within the overall tone, but emotionally as well. Very beautiful, beautiful reading. So that is the Mantra Oracle and the Forager's Daughter. And the Mantra Oracle I used with a few things. So let's go ahead and bring out the next one, the Wild and Sacred Feminine deck. This little beauty right here. There are a few decks that I've received within the last couple of years that are like, these guys will never leave me. And this is one of them. I really love this deck. I love the beauty that it has. I love the wonderful messages that it provides. It is beautiful. And here the art styles, they are different, but again, the Forager's Daughter has a very beautiful way of speaking. I love the way it kind of blended in with this wisdom that I'm showing you right here. It just had a beautiful wisdom about it within these two decks. But I'm not done with the Forager's Daughter. The next deck is a deck that just fell on the floor, which is the Energy Archaeology. Oops, it's backward. I've been working with this deck quite a bit this month, and it's been a real blessing for me to have this deck available. This is such a wonderful deck. She is revising this deck. She's going to come out with a second edition, and it's going to be a little bit different. The font is going to be different, which is good. It's going to look a little bit bolder, which will make it a little bit easier to read. Now, if you have great eyesight, that's fantastic. But for me, my eyes, they need a little bit of a bolder font. And I think it'll be nice to have those changes within the second edition. Also, she's making some changes to the cards themselves, so I think that will be interesting. But again, another very healing and very supportive type of reading within the two. And I love the way that this gets into the overall structure of the body and working within the body and using those emotional messages that are within the body to just support you. The next tarot deck that I was working with is my beloved Gentle Tarot. This is a deck that I went to for my birthday reading. How could I not? How could I not use this for my birthday reading? It is my absolute favorite, most wonderful, beautiful deck that I have ever experienced. I love the Gentle Tarot. There is nothing about it that isn't special or good for me. And so I paired it up with this deck right here, and I just thought it was one of the most grounding, beautiful, healing, loving, and supportive readings that I've had in a really, really long time. It was so good. It was so beautiful. Yes, the art styles are a little bit different, but the overall energy within the two, oh my goodness, it's just wonderful. And look at, that's why one of these reasons that I love this deck is that in so little decks do they offer goddesses that really appeal to me, that have my energy in there. And when I see stuff that contains Ichel, and I know that the goddesses within the Mexica are a little bit harder to find, but they do exist, and there is ample information available to, you know, kind of put them in there with that goddess energy. So I love that this deck kind of reaches in a little bit more and searches a little bit more for some of the other goddesses as well. Beautiful, just beautiful. Look at this. Look at that raven. That raven card is just so, so beautiful. This is the Be With Your Body Tarot. I've been talking about this deck quite a bit lately, and I worked with these two together as well. Again, beautiful, supporting, very grounding. The colors together are very earthy, and look at these two together. I really like these two together, and I think it's the overall energy that just really pushes me into these two, working with these two together, that really has me like, oh my goodness, just keep coming back. But this Be With Your Body Tarot, I really like this deck. The Roses, Dust, and Ashes, I have a walkthrough of this deck. This is a beautiful deck. It is pricey. There's only, I think, like 37 cards within the deck. I do really love the images. It's a little glossy, and it's a little pricey, but the quality is very, very beautiful. The overall theme of the deck is not something that's out there a lot. So, you know, it's different. It's different. So that's what I really like about it. And it goes beautifully with the Hoodoo Tarot. In my walkthrough, you could see that right away. This one is one that came up as like, oh my goodness, I have to work with these two together. These are amazing together. And they are amazing together. Such beautiful reads with these two. This is very deep, very like ancestral, kind of looking further in, kind of digging in to what lies within the unseen when it comes to working with these two. So gosh, you guys, I really like these two together. The other deck that I worked with alongside the Roses, Dust, and Ashes is the Taraki by Mr. Freiborg. And this is a little bit different of a feel within the overall energy of the reading, but I thought that they paired up very beautifully together. And this deck has been a little difficult for me to pair up with other decks. I did order the expansion pack for this deck, but I'm not really using it so much as an oracle when it comes to working with this deck. So bringing this in and working with these two together, I think that they work really well together. I like the overall theme of the two. So this is the Taraki by Mr. Freiborg, the Creative Conscious Healing. This deck I have worked with alongside other tarot decks, and I have worked with it alongside the Gentle Tarot, which I did like, but overall, I'm just pulling a card and just, see, I have one right here. I'm just pulling a card and just using it on its own. This deck is so beautiful. It is so calming. It is so healing. It is so supportive. I keep saying these same words over and over. And there are details in here that if you just gaze at these cards, it's almost like a meditation within itself. If you really look at it, see where everything is reflected, looking at the flowers, looking at the faces, it's a beautiful deck. And I would think that somebody would look at this and say, what is, you know, what's to it? But it really is a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. I really, really like this deck. It's so healing. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful deck, and for the most part, like I said, I just pull a card, I read the guidebook, and then just kind of ponder the thoughts, not really doing too much journaling about them, just overall really thinking about it. I used these two together, and they were really good. I really loved it. I really loved the overall theme. Now, when I was reading The Last Cuentista, this book here that I spoke on earlier, I was thinking, I don't really have too many decks that deal with like cosmic energy. And this was the only deck that I really have, is the Wandering Moon Tarot. But it worked really beautifully for the full moon reading, for the full super blue moon. It worked really well together. I paired it up with the Wild Unknown Alchemy. There are some like cosmic style decks, but I can't think of any that really appeal to me other than the Ad Orbita Tarot, which I don't have. And I don't know, I'm kind of considering it because I don't have anything, and I love the idea of the sea to the cosmos kind of idea. I really like that idea, but this deck here, the Wandering Moon Tarot, is a very calming, very beautiful, very thoughtful type of deck. And this full moon was energetically very deep for me this month. And I don't know if you guys felt the same thing within this moon, but it was an amazing moon. I keep saying this month, last month. It was an amazing, amazing moon to work with. And I'm still kind of in that mode and working with it, and just I'm gonna kind of let that kind of just seep into my cells, because it was very, very powerful for me. That is my month end. That is my monthly wrap up. Thank you so much for being here with me, for listening to me, and for just being a part of this whole journey. I appreciate you guys so much. I wish you a beautiful day. From my heart to yours, I will see you later.